This video is made possible by our generous supporters on Patreon. Check out patreon.com/NWR for all the details.
During Gamescom 2025, I had the exclusive opportunity to sit down with IO Interactive and get a full preview for 007 First Light. The demo was showcased in a theater and I was unable to play the game myself, but got a full playthrough from one of the staff members from IO Interactive. While I did inquire about Nintendo Switch 2 hardware, IO Interactive at this time is unable to comment on any performance of any of the platforms they are targeting. You can find my full written up preview on nintendoworldreport.com. The link is down in the description. You're about to watch a full interview with Teuns Smit, senior producer at IO Interactive. At the time of editing, there is very little footage available from the game quite yet. So we present this video interview as is, with barely any editing. Please keep this in mind. Please enjoy this interview for 007 First Light. So thank you for taking the time for talking to me about First Light. First question, I guess, was this a dream come true for the team? Because I can imagine that 007 and Hitman pretty closely related on other ends of the spectrum. Can you talk to me a little bit about it, how the project came to be?
Yeah, I think that's definitely one way of putting it from our side. As you know, with IO Interactive, we have over 25 years of agent fantasy experience. There's one way of looking at it. I've heard it said before, and I don't feel like shying away from it. It's like a match made in heaven. You know, it is something that allowed us to not just work with the kind of like agent that we're used to, but the original spy agent. You know, like the legacy of Bond, and he's quite different from things we've done before. I mean, Bond himself, he's charming. He has wit. The things that he has going for him, his brains, his brawn, gadgets that come along with it, things that you obviously find synonymous and expect from Q-Bench. So it's really given us this awesome opportunity to usher in this new chapter for Bond in gaming, it's very exciting for us.
Yeah, and can you talk to me a little bit about the creative freedom? Because you're doing an origin story. We've seen several types of origin stories for Bond in both books and movies and other games as well. What drew you to that particular aspect of like making a Bond game?
Yeah, I mean, from the very get-go, it was with us that we wanted to do like a reimagined origin story. You know, that this gives us a bit of that creative freedom where this is not a Bond that you've seen before. This is he's much younger. He's hot-headed. He's still but more reckless, even more than maybe he should be. These are the days before he's gone to MI6, before he has earned his 00 status. So players will meet him fresh out of the Royal Navy, thrown into this new world of espionage. And for us, that gave us a really great opportunity. Not just from a narrative point of view, but also a gameplay point of view, that as Bond is going through this journey and becoming who he needs to be, that character progression and that narrative development flows into the gameplay as well, so that you as the player and him as Bond, you're going on this progression journey together. You are becoming Bond, and you get to be Bond your way. You know, you get to play to his strengths, play to what makes him unique. One of the elements, you saw a glimpse of it in the demo there, is his quick wit. You know, jumping through the window from what you saw there. Obviously, if people react, quickly jump in and diffuse the situation. That is a gameplay element that we carry throughout. So you can bluff your way out of tense situations. It doesn't always have to escalate to fighting. So it's a great way for us to balance that stealth to action by leaning into what makes him Bond, his character, his persona.
Yeah. In the demo, we saw 3 different distinct types of gameplay, so stealth, driving, or chase scene in that regard, and also the shootout. I'm mostly curious about the shooting elements, because I tend to play Hitman as stealthily as possible, avoiding the guns because I find it funny. But also, I can imagine that for this type of game, you had to rethink the approach to guns. What went into that process?
Yeah, for us, we focus a lot on what drives the action forward, what drives the narrative forward. There's a lot of forward momentum, as you saw with that gun section as well. So to your point, if you're a player that is very stealthy focused, we didn't want you to feel as soon as you're out of stealth no, like now I need to like try again or whatever. We wanted to make sure that that was fun as well. So playing into those strengths, that fluidity, you saw Bond. One of the things that I particularly love is as you're taking out an enemy, grabbing his gun, shoot, fire. All of a sudden you're out of bullets. Normally you would just drop that, but not Bond. He makes the gun a weapon as well. Just like wow,
I
throw
love
at the
that.
guy.
It was really good in the demo.
And then you close the gap, rush in, take out. These are the things about that fluid motion, forward momentum that we really wanted to bring into the combat, as well as when it comes just to the melee part, a lot more variety. How you can deflect and parry and grab guys. I love, for example, the grab rush. Yeah. So if you're on an elevated section, just grab the guy, rush down, break your fall with him. All of this keeps the story and the action moving forward, and we love it.
Yeah, it also sets it really distinctly apart from something like Hitman, right? I can imagine it's like stretching a different muscle for the development team as well.
Exactly. No, I mean, for us, we have our old guard, so to speak, of our dev team that has really built up our expertise with the spy fantasy, but we were able to even bolster our team and bring in new and fresh talent as the project has been going on. So we really have a great set of members working on this, and everybody's bringing their A game, and everybody's so excited, and we get to elevate and bring new experiences, like you saw the car chase, driving sections, all of this. This is new to what maybe has happened in our past games before, but it's something you come to expect from a true video game blockbuster, which is what we're putting forth.
So structurally, I put in over 100 hours into Hitman, most of the time replaying levels, getting to know the layouts, changing my approach. Now there's a little bit of that in the demo we just saw, but one of the things that makes Hitman interesting, I think, is the rewards and things you can use to deploy that sort of thing. Is that something structurally you're also thinking about deploying here?
For us right now, we have a key focus on creative approach. This means that at your disposal, you have a variety of gameplay elements that you could use. So let's say you need to get from A to B. You can try to stealth your way through. You have a variety of gadgets that you're going to unlock. I'm not going to share all of them yet with you because I want to save some for later. But you saw an example of the dart phone, which allows you to incapacitate enemies momentarily, making them dizzy, letting them walk off, distract them like that. In our previous announcement trailer, you saw a glimpse of our laser watch. That's a very versatile tool where you can not only disarm enemies, you can open locks, or you can engage the environment, letting a chandelier drop and drawing attention like that. All of this gives you a different recipe to success every time, and we think that there's a great replayability in that as well. That creative approach, trying things differently, playing Bond how your way. And I think players are gonna have quite a treat. Not to even mention the spectacle moments. Going through those, it's adrenaline rushing, and we're gonna want to play it again and again, and we're really excited about that.
And so, is there any ambition for adding on to stuff later, like the live service content in Hitman is very much well regarded, like the elusive targets, of course, and that sort of thing. Do you think the game lends itself for that sort of approach, or do you think it's more? More single-player, offline focus. Is that really as a sort of contrast to what World of Assassination?
There's always the future, but for us right now, we're laser focused on bringing this third-person, story-driven action adventure to life. We feel like right now this is deserving of the quality we want to give it, and that's where our priorities lie right now, to bring that to players.
And shifting gears a little bit, I think based on what I saw in the demo, it takes place in a little bit ahead of our time, but James Bond scored an icon that is morphed over time. What was the specific decision in setting it in a little bit ahead in the future or our current day and age, instead of going for the 60s, 70s vibe? Every Bond era is very distinctive. What do you think brings the modern age to Bond?
That's a good question. It was definitely a creative choice. There's no lack of source material when it comes to the legacy of Bond, as you know. So we even went back and looked at the novels, in particular, to draw inspiration from that. One element I can just mention from that, for example, is there were a lot of eagle-eyed fans out there who spotted the scar that we placed on his face, something that you didn't really see in the films, but it's from the novels. So we looked at all of that, and for us, it just felt that a contemporary story is well fitting for what we want to tell with this. and the younger James Bond to fit in with our players going through that journey together. So it just made sense in the end.
Yeah. I think in contrast, like, I keep bringing up Hitman, but I'm very experienced with the game. I think Hitman is maybe unintentionally one of the funniest games ever made because of the sheer ability to also see NPCs react, but also the way in which you set up your whole, perfect kill in many ways. How do you allow for those gameplay comedic elements to shine through with Bond, which is a lot more, it's the quick wits thing you said before, but that's very much dialogue. Yeah. How do you translate that to gameplay?
So for us, I think a core element there is we wanted to focus and make sure that, Bond is inherently, that British hero, and he has that British wit. And we have a great writers team that makes sure that we stay in line with what you would expect from the IP. So Bond himself will also have remarks, and he's a witty, charming guy. These moments allow the player to not only connect with him as a character more and get that character progression and bonding, but we also can use it sometimes to help navigate the player a little bit. But the world around you as well, it's a world of espionage. There is a serious undertone to it. So we didn't want to go overboard, silly, loosey-goosey, so to speak. But he, as I mentioned, he's a charming guy. He has wit, so humor can be expected, but in the tone befitting of the franchise.
Yeah. So I think as a sort of final question, you were talking about the serious tone, and James Bond is always, I think, up to a certain point, whether you look at the movies or the novels, reflective of his era, right? If you write him in the 60s, it's very much Cold War, still the World War II era. 80s, it's much more action-focused in a sense. Do you think that, a British agent in our current global political landscape is it could be a bit risky, right? How do you balance that tightrope? Like, how do you make sure that he's still a geopolitical agent working for a government, but also taking that into account for a story like this, which, tends to skew on modern global political relations?
For us, the focus was really that we wanted to create a completely original, reimagined origin story. And that's the story we want to tell. So we're placing the focus on that narrative that we want to drive forward. There's a lot of character development in there. There is him, needing to deal with this new world of espionage that he's thrown into between the light and the dark. The characters around him to shape him. But that is where our focus remains. Within, it's still, it's a reimagining of that storytelling. So even though it happens, in the world, and we take you through location to location, which, by the way, you can expect globetrotting, wonderfully amazing, places where you probably couldn't reach, just as a mere mortal like us. And so our focus is on that, the entertainment, the story we want to tell, the fun factor and the gameplay, and that's where we keep that.
Yeah, it looks very action-packed. I'm really excited to see how it comes together in the future. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you as well.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
This video was made possible by our generous supporters on Patreon. Did you know that Nintendo World Report is funded directly by fans like you? When you support Nintendo World Report on Patreon, you get immediate access to multiple exclusive podcasts every month, exclusive Discord channels, an early look at select content, and more, all for as little as $1 a month. Check out patreon.com/NWR for all the details.